There I was, standing around working at my full-time job, with my computer science degree slowly wasting away. Just another regular day full of doing a whole lot of nothing noteworthy, and not working on any videos. That is, until he walked in. There it is. There's the video idea. Street Fighter 6, the road to platinum. Let's get into it. I played Street Fighter when it first came out, way back in the distant summer of June 2023. And I think back then, the highest rank I was able to make it up to was around New Challenger. Yeah, I never played more than like 5 games before giving up. My main gripe about the game was that all the characters were just so ugly. But now there's somebody on the roster who breaks that stereotype for me. Yeah, this is definitely a JQDNS approved one trick. With one of the easiest DLC purchases I've ever made out of the way, it's time to jump straight into ranked matches without any tutorials whatsoever. Surely, this wasn't a huge mistake that I'd be regretting moments after starting. As expected, this did not start off going well. The game plan at first was just jumping around and spamming jabs, but for some reason, the strat wasn't working as well as I thought it would. I kept getting hit by drive impacts, which if you don't know what they are essentially counters with super armor, but you have some specific options to react to it with. Either you grab them in that short window to ignore the armor altogether, hit them at least 3 times before their attack reaches you, or counter it with your own drive impact, forcing it to be your turn to be on the offensive. I, however, did not know any of this at the time, and ate every single one that got thrown at me. Safe to say it took a good while before I actually started winning any ranked games. Is what I would say if I was lying. My third game in, filled with this top tier exhilarating gameplay, I was able to clutch out a win, the well-timed, definitely intentional whiff punish. With the score being 1-3 so far, I started to pick up some momentum. With a semi-solid 2-hit combo and unlimited amount of jumps in my arsenal, I was more than equipped to handle more people than I'm comfortable with even sharing in this elo. To be fair, these are probably just beginners trying out their first fighting game, and I'm coming from what some people would confuse as an almost decent rank in Guilty Gear, so I think I had the edge in just straight up fundamentals. After getting this extremely confusing win against the Jamie? Like, dude, I don't even know what was happening at this point.
Why does he always jump it?
I was placed in Bronze 3 with a record of 5 wins and 5 losses. At this point, there's not going to be any win-loss counter anymore until the end of the video, because there are way too many games for me to even count. I started to pick up some more advanced combos as I was playing. By that I mean, after 2 hits, I do the unthinkable and finish it off with a 3rd attack. Impressive stuff. With the addition of grabbing, I think I was already a bit too advanced for the competition, because the win streaks were constant and pretty effortless, which is important for more than just looking like I know how to play the game. The higher win streak you have, the more LP or ladder points you get per win, significantly speeding up how fast you rank up. That, and with 10 wins in a row, you get a huge 1000 LP boost, which would rocket you up pretty much an entire tier. I was flying through and had built up an almost respectable 5 win streak. That's when I finally got a dose of reality.
No!
At this point, I admit, I was way too emotionally invested, especially for Bronze 5. But still, come on man, I was halfway there! After that, the momentum kinda slowed down, and with my first disconnect under my belt,
What? Oh my free win, no!
it was time for a training arc. And not because I was ready to take a reasonable break and actually practice the game, but literally only because all of the servers went down as a whole. I started playing offline combo trials and realized that I haven't even been using like half of my character's kit in the game so far.
Oh, what?
Like, why have none of you told me that this is a combo? That's 4 whole attacks. One more than I even thought possible. With the servers going back up, I immediately abandoned the rest of the combo trials and dived straight back into the grind. And at this point, I was definitely over leveled for bronze. Almost immediately, there was a night and day difference to my games. And with the addition of literally half of what my character can do in every game, it didn't take long for this to happen.
I think that's over. Yes, sir!
That's right, we hit silver. That right there is some people's peak in other games. Now you're probably expecting me to say that the momentum carried over, or I learned some new trick that skyrocketed me out of silver, but no. This was nothing but a mind-numbing, enthusiasm-killing grind fest. Every win started to feel more and more like a coin flip than a testament to skill, and every loss just felt like it was an unfair, unplayable matchup from the jump. It got so bad to the point where I actually had to step back and take a break because I was getting self-tilted.
Oh my gosh! What just happened, man? What? That's not what I'm doing! Okay, bro, just... I can't believe that just happened. I can't believe it just happened.
Clearly, the game plan I've cultivated up to this point was just not working. There was serious room for improvement in the areas I was lacking, that of which there was a lot. So I broke it down into the specific things that I was failing at in more games than not. Input failures, specifically DP inputs, invincible reversal moves that when done right can flip the game's momentum, being your turn to attack, reacting to drive impacts. This one's huge because most people in this rank use them as a crutch to skip neutral and force it to be their turn, and both reacting and initiating grabs. This is really important because grabs are irregularly strong in Street Fighter 6. With them beating a majority of options that you have available, if you aren't abusing grabs in Street Fighter 6, you're leaving major pressure and damage on the table for your enemy to abuse, and that they definitely will. Continuing with this in mind, while at an absolute snail's pace, I slowly started to climb through silver, albeit with an almost disturbing amount of rage along the way. It got so bad that at one point, I literally just went AFK for like an hour, still recording mind you, just to watch diaphone guide videos on mine. But this action is exactly what I needed. Watching somebody so significantly better than me is just like a breath of fresh air. It opens up your perspective to the fact that no, these matchups aren't one-sided, the moves aren't unreactable, and your character isn't bad at all. You just suck. But this important realization changed my outlook on future games and reminded me the important thing that got me through bronze so easily. I need to play to learn, not to win. I was too emotionally invested, and that's what was keeping me stuck in silver, a self-feeding cycle. Now, this wasn't an immediate jump in performance or anything. Honestly, some games I was playing even worse than I was before, since my goal wasn't to win anymore. But I was having a lot more fun with each game, and I was proud of myself even with the losses, since I'd have little objectives I could fulfill that would help me in future games.
Haha! That's a good way to do that. And I could also grab in between the two.
After 2 hours of small improvements later, then I was able to achieve the impossible. Thought I meant gold? Nah, this was significantly better. My first rage quit. It's always a proud moment in every game when this happens. It's like a pat on the back telling you, yeah, you're that obnoxious guy now. A few more rank ups later, a bit of dancing and wabam.
Let's go!
Now gold, this was an entirely different beast. Unlike the other ranks, where I was either a stomp with everybody I faced or equally matched, gold 1 was an uphill battle the entire time. I felt like the changes in playstyle I was practicing were now a prerequisite to even survive in the rank without getting demoted. And for about the first 10 matches, I was literally just defending my gold status, being dangerously close to being kicked back to silver. At one point, I was literally getting -0 LP. Honestly, I didn't even know it went that low, but I was determined that all my hard work practicing and learning would not go to waste. And to show that as his #1 pupil, best friend, and life partner, that my mental and idol Diaphone's effort was not in vain. I slowly started clawing my way up towards gold 2, and that's when I learned something that fundamentally changed how I played my following games.
Oh, I can air grab? What?
Now this was kind of a game changer for me. If you don't know how I play Guilty Gear, it's not very good. But where I lack in any actual game knowledge or combos, what I do excel in is reactions and fundamentals, specifically air grabs. The airspace is never safe when you're playing against me. And now that I know that this is even an option, I was able to go back to the drawing board for my game plan in future matches. The idea was to play more similarly to how I played Bridget in Guilty Gear, completely shutting down the option of jumping and keeping high pressure with projectiles and abusing Oki. You can make a whole video on explaining what Oki is, but essentially, it's kind of a rock, paper, scissors on what you're able to do when you get knocked down. It took a little while to incorporate, but with this in mind, as well as trying my best to react to drive impacts, I slowly started to get a grasp on it. A bit more polishing and practice later, and it led to this decisive game. This right here, this was the start of my most legendary run in my Street Fighter 6 career. 13 wins in a row. What a fitting number, huh? This was definitely one of the best feelings I've had while playing a fighting game in a long time. And it reminded me of a very important lesson that most players on the rank grind really ought to remember. When you're learning a game, you should keep it at that, learning. The moment the focus switches to winning, then you're really just losing the point. That was an absolute fire line. Looking back at the journey through each ring, it's interesting to see how I played differently depending on what I needed to learn to succeed. From 3-hit bread and butter combos during my placement games, starting to use literally half of my entire kit in bronze, learning to have a solid and consistent game plan in silver, and lastly putting it all together in gold to shoot it to platinum. But trust me, we're definitely not done yet. This was just my first day of playing, and I'm definitely gonna end up revisiting. So if you enjoyed this video, like, comment, subscribe, do all that fun stuff, and consider watching this video right here on the right? Right? It's gonna be on the right. Watch it. Watch the video. Watch it. Watch it. Watch the video. Watch the video.